Welcome to Dance to Heal. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how dance and movement can bring healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that movement was vital to my recovery. I created Dance to Heal Wellness and also authored the best-selling book, Outside in Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new techniques to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Leveraging over a decade of healthcare expertise as a seasoned nurse, certified health and nutrition coach, and NASM personal trainer, Stephanie Relle uniquely blends practical health wisdom with empowering coaching to inspire business and personal transformations. She is also the creator of Sexy Fit Mamas, a transformative weight loss program tailored for moms grappling with weight and self-esteem post-motherhood. And so, folks, I am so excited that Stephanie is here with us today. Stephanie, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much, Jenny, for having me today.
So do you mind if we can just explain or share a little bit with the audience of how you, being a nurse, ended up here in this type of coaching?
Yeah, totally. So I started out going to nursing school, and I had a long, extensive journey before going into nursing school, but I always knew that I wanted to help people. Okay. So that's kind of like why I went into the health field. But my journey started when I was a young girl and I had a struggle with weight. I was a little heavy set for my age. And my mom kind of said some choice words that made me feel really low self-esteem. Like I had to impress her all the time and I felt fat. And so I started dieting at 9 years old. And throughout my life, as I grew up, that was like a recurring theme for me. I kept losing weight, putting the weight back on, and feeling less than unworthy. To the extent when I was in nursing school, I started struggling with bulimia, and my mental health was really crashing to the point that I failed my third year of nursing school. So through some counseling and just getting back on my feet, I was able to finish nursing school and graduate and become a nurse. But my journey didn't end there because even though I had counseling, I was still struggling just with my self-esteem, like feeling like I still had to be a people pleaser and comparing myself to other people and always worrying about what people think. And it was not until the point after I got married. I had a couple of things in my marriage. My husband got cancer and we were dealing with that. But it was to the point where I was like, all right, are we ready to have children? And I really struggled with that because I already had some weight on me. And I was like, if I get pregnant, I'm going to get fat. Like, that's just how I thought. Yes. I thought, you put the weight on and then it's hard to take it off. And that's what I saw in my family history too. There's obesity in my family. And so I just thought like, that's what's going to happen to me if I have children. So after finally coming to a point where I'm like, all right, because I made this ultimatum to myself. I said, I'm not going to get pregnant until I lose all the weight. I gave myself that ultimatum, but a year went by, I didn't lose the weight. 2 years went by, I didn't lose the weight. And I was like, all right, obviously that's not what's going to motivate me. And I started getting that hunger in my heart to become a mom.
Yeah.
I just got to go with it. And I got pregnant. I had a miscarriage and it was a really hard time for me, especially spiritually. And, but I really felt called to be a mom. So I knew that wasn't the end all. And I really felt God speak to me that I was going to get a bigger blessing. And I was pregnant with twins. So after I had the twins, while carrying two babies, of course, I put on a lot of weight and I was at my heaviest weight, 214 pounds, and I was miserable. I had postpartum depression. I couldn't leave my bed. I was a mess, put it that way. And I wasn't the Stephanie that everybody knew because I'm a very lively, animated, loud, energetic extrovert. And that wasn't me for a while. until I had to go into my own journey of healing from the past traumas that I've gone through to start really truly loving myself again. And I said it on one of my lives this morning. I was like, I'm working on myself. I'm losing this weight because I love myself.
Yes.
Right? Not in spite of it, not because I hate myself. Because a lot of people will try to lose weight because they hate themselves. But I was doing it now because I got through the healing and that self-worth. That is now because I love myself, because I love the body I'm in. I'm going to work on me, make myself a priority so that I can be the best for my family. Because I thought of it the other way around. I thought I can't, put myself first because I got to put my children first. I got to put my husband first. I got to put the household first. And that's how I was raised. I saw my mom take care of everybody but herself. So that's what I modeled. Like, that's what I thought. And I realized, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. And so when I started making myself a priority and I healed through that process and I started loving myself again, the weight was coming off. Yes, did I try to alter my nutrition a little bit? Of course. Did I do a little bit of exercise? Yes. But what really got me to even do those things was that inner work. And so that's when I started getting more of a passion to start my business, to help other moms, because I knew there was other moms that are feeling the same way and that need help to see that there's more to her than what society tells her, what culture tells her, what her upbringing tells her, and I had to really filter out all the noise and know that I'm on a mission. I have a purpose and calling in my life, and that's what I need to focus on, not what everybody else thinks I should be. So that's how my business got started, and I've been loving it. Like, it's one of my biggest passions, just helping other women. And we've gone through not only the weight loss, they've seen wins in weight loss, but they've also seen wins in like their confidence being built up. And also some of them have gone on to do side hustles and their own businesses, which is completely amazing. So I just love what I do. And that's kind of just my journey all the way up until now here. And now my business is about 2.5 years old.
Wow. So, audience, I really, really need you to give Stephanie a little golf clap. I'm clapping Golfy because that's a really, really cool story. And I loved that you are so vulnerable because most people see us at the end or middle of our journey. They didn't see us at the beginning when we didn't know our butt from our heads and we're just trying to get to the end of the tunnel. We don't even know if we're going in the right direction. And I really want the audience hearing this. I must be getting emotional because listen to my voice changing. The reason why we do what we do is because we're here waiting for people like us to start the self-care first.
Right.
Right? Because, excuse me, when you were talking about having twins, I had twins through in vitro, and I never really looked at myself with my healing, not even during my breast cancer. It was when one of my children was in distress. And even the first time my child showed me their scars and talked about, a trigger warning, audience, talked about suicide and all those things. The first time that was brought to my attention, I was very clinical, quickly got the therapy set up, locked up the knives, and still missed the signs that my child was still in danger. It was only the relapse because this very smart child found the fish fillet knife, the brand new one that I left in a drawer for some reason because I wasn't present. That relapse was what really, threw me on the floor and said, stop. You've got to make some changes. And that was beginning not just of her healing, but my healing. I really love what you're saying, Stephanie. I went on an event back in June with a business mentor, and it ended up becoming a very unsafe 5 days for me. And when I got home, I had gained 10 pounds in weight. And, they were trying to joke, oh, it's because of the Mexican food. And I was like, no. I barely ate the Mexican food. And 3 days later, I went back to my normal weight. For me, having that experience, and you talking about how when you heal, the extra weight, which I think is almost a protective mechanism, right?
Right. Absolutely.
It's a buffer against this horrible world that we're thrown into sometimes. As you get stronger, the weight does drop off, doesn't it, Stephanie?
Hmm. Oh yeah, totally. That's so funny that you mentioned about, being somewhere that wasn't safe and having that extra weight because our body does respond. You've heard of that fight or flight response, right? And so oftentimes our body can kind of like hold on to weight or even kind of have like a inflammatory response to what's going on, like the stress, the extra cortisol, the not eating. Like there's a lot of people I hear, they're just like, oh, well, I'm not going to eat breakfast or I'm only going to eat 800 calories. And your body's like, what are you doing to me? Right. And then they're like, why am I not losing weight? Well, you're not giving your body what it needs to thrive. So, yeah, totally. Stress plays a huge role.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've changed radically my relationship with my scale because now my scale is actually the interpreter for my body. If I see my weight starting to climb and I'm eating the regular things, TMI moment, folks, but like I'm like, did I make a bowel movement? If I haven't, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take some extra magnesium because it is poisonous if you're not making regular bowel movements, right? Besides it making me look lighter. And another thing is when I'm going to an event, if I notice my weight is climbing, I start looking outside and go, why don't I feel safe enough? Why
Mm,
am I not feeling safe? My body's telling me my body doesn't
wow.
feel safe, right?
Wow. That's a good way to think about it because I usually talk about stress and not giving your body what it needs, like time alone to rest and decompress. But I actually never talk to my clients in the fact that feeling safe is a major component and that can really reflect on how your body's responding.
Yeah, I mean, so real talk, right? As women, we're never allowed to be like, I need help. We're
Yeah.
supposed to have it all. And yet
Mhm.
the caveat behind this is underneath that in small print is you just can't have it all at the same time. You can have it all, but it's not possible to do it all at the same time. Everything has a season,
Right. Absolutely.
right? I mean, do you talk to your clients about hydration? Because for me, I live in a very high desert now in Utah, and I've noticed that if I don't hydrate, I also will gain weight.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I talk about hydration all the time. In fact, we have water challenges. So every month we do a different type of challenge, whether it be the water challenge or eating enough veggies or eating enough protein or even a step challenge, which we're in the middle of right now. And we'll post like at the end of the day, I achieved, this much ounces of water or this much steps in a day to kind of give that a little healthy competition. But in essence, they're developing a healthy habit.
I love that. I think a lot of us, we're not allowed to say, I need a community to prop me up.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
love that your clients have a community where everyone can bolster each other, right? Because sometimes it's just really easy to be like, I'm on my own and now I fell off, but no one can see. So it's not a big
Mhm.
deal. I'll start again next month, right? I've
Right.
been we get cases of sugar-free Pedialyte delivered to our house
Mm.
because we noticed because I don't have any more whey protein. And I learned that when someone's thirsty or needing to be hydrated, milk is one of the best ways to rehydrate yourself. And that's why when we looked at the regular Pedialyte, all the flavors except the sugar-free have whey protein in them for hydration of the babies, which I never knew. And for me
Mm.
personally, because of my breast cancer, my being positive for a certain protein in my system, I don't do whey protein anymore. So
Uh,
it just worked out. I had to be on sugar free anyways. I'm a sugarholic, so it's better.
mhm.
Everything sugar free, liquid IV
Right.
sugar free, the Pedialyte, which we like to call it baby juice. So I go through a whole bottle of that per day with the Pedialyte. I'm sorry, the liquid IV. And I found that if I'm hydrating, my weight will stay steady or start dropping if I add in a cardio class.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Man, we need water not only for hydration, but for so many other things, like for our organs to thrive, right? For to help with regularity. And especially like when we're trying to increase fiber. Fiber works together with water. So if you're just building up fiber, 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 you're going to cause maybe some constipation and it's going to work against you. So we need water for so many different things, so many different things in our body. Like our body's made up mostly of water, right? So we need it for sure.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, I know that you're offering some our audience who want to work with you, they can have access to your app, correct?
Yeah. Mhm. Absolutely.
So it's called the Sexy Fit Mamas app, folks. Stephanie's going to show it up on the screen for our YouTube people, and the rest of us who are on the audio portion of the podcast. And why don't you hold it up, Stephanie? It has like sexy on the top and mamas on the bottom, and the fit in the middle is like black and purple and a light aqua color. Look for that app. What do they get when they download it, Stephanie?
So when you download it, there is a free version, like with most apps. There is also an option to go up to premium. And so on the free version, you are able to kind of track your own food. And there are some samples of exercises that you can, go through and even track your own like training or workouts or whatever. So you're able to do that freely. And in the community, I'm able to share something, which I'm planning to do on a monthly basis, is share something with the community there. So even if you're free, you'll be able to see that. And then once you upgrade to premium, you'll be able to have access to all the recipes and all the workouts. So it's really, really nice and nice thing to have in your pocket.
I love that. I love that. Wouldn't you like to have Stephanie in your pocket, audience? I would. Because here's the thing. I really appreciate you being very vulnerable with your story at the beginning. Because oftentimes we'll see instructors who never understood the challenge, right, of where we came from. And truth talk, I know they're amazing, younger, always thin their lives and coaches, right? I can't resonate with them. Some of us need someone who's actually been there before to be able to say, I understand why it's hard for you.
Yeah, totally.
Have you found that with your present clients?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a couple of times where I had that thoughts of unworthiness that I mentioned before. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to be able to do this? Because I'm a mom of 3 and I have 6-year-old twins and a 3-year-old now. When I started my business, my daughter was only 1 and the boys were only 4. And, there's chaos when you have little ones at home. They all want you. My little one is always on my hip and it's like, mom, this, right? Mom, that. So I had a bit of overwhelm, as we can all relate. And sometimes I'm like, I can't do this because they're always interrupting my lives or they're always wanting me and stuff like that. But my clients have said, because you are real, because you don't hold anything back, like this is what makes us want to work with you. Like they tell me, I don't know how you do it with all these kids running around in the background. And I was like, I don't know how I do it either, but I do it. Like I just give my heart. Like I wholeheartedly just give 100%, even when it's messy, even when it's not perfect. And that's kind of like been my mantra. Like I'm going to do things even when they're not perfect because the reality is like nothing is ever 100% perfect, right? Nothing is ever 100% perfect. But if I can at least go with all my heart, then I'm going to bring value and people are going to resonate with that. So, I work with moms and they see, like, they think that they can't do it, but here I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So that's just been something very important to me, that regardless of my circumstances, I'm still going to push forward.
I love that because most mamas really have very little time.
Yeah.
And you're literally in our corner saying, you can do this. I'll work with you, depending on which level they elect in the app, right, Stephanie? It's like, for me, you're not, your business has already been set forth. You've already hit the hurdles for us. Oftentimes in the past, I will work with people who are just beginning, and then I'm no longer that way. I'm 55. I don't want people to learn on me. I'm so sorry. It's like Stephanie's already walked the path, folks. This is the person you want to go with, because she understands when you tell her, I'm having a poopy day. And she'd be like, talk to me, what's up? What can we do to fix it? Right? Versus someone going, oh, I'm so sorry. That doesn't help us when someone just says, oh, I'm so sorry. And they have no clue what it's like to be sandwiched between everyone's needs as a mom, right?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, I can't go on longer. My podcast producer gets mad at me. We'll have to have Stephanie come back. And now you know that you've got the Sexy Fit Mamas app with Stephanie. And also, if you want to tune into my gift at danceandheal.com, you get some somatic cardio dance with some myofascial stretching. Do both. Your body has different needs at different times. It's never an either or, it's always and. This and that, so you can keep giving yourself grace. I'm going to end on one last note. Stephanie has been saying this, and I want you to really hear it. You are perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect in where you are right now. You are enough. You are enough. Now, we're just asking that in your being enough, make sure you're taking care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not 100%, no one gets taken care of, right, Stephanie?
Yep. I had to learn a hard lesson, but yes. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I worked myself to the point where my immune system couldn't take it, and I ended up with breast cancer. There's no history of cancer in my life at all. I was vegan at my most fit. At my pre-baby weight, strong as F-U-C-K, so strong. And then I found a lump. Like, what the heck? Oh, my husband had emergency bowel surgery. Oh, my child has type 1 and I haven't slept in 3 years because I was afraid he's going to die in his sleep. That's what got me, right? And I kept running until my well was empty. We don't want that for you, audience. Stephanie and I really want you to put yourself first. Please tune into her app, Sexy Fit Mamas. Take my class at danceandheal.com, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Dance to Heal with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of recovery through movement and learn more ways that you can move your body. To work with me and continue your journey, visit outsideinrecovery.com. Are you ready to move?